Session 2. The Mountain. The party had found Jarrett on the mountainside. He told them that they had been ambushed by a yeti and that he needed to find the rest of his group. The party agreed to help, leaving Jarrett safe with Boy, who turned out to be one of Jarrett's sled dogs anyways, and one of their tents to protect him from the elements. The party ventured up the mountain. Scaling the sheer cliff face, they made excellent progress until they found the entrance to a cave. Venturing inside, they were spotted by a yeti and its tyke, who had been playing with some small creature huddled into a ball. The yeti attacked, claws tearing through flesh, piercing eyes, attempting to freeze any challengers where they stood. These challengers, however, were of a sort the yeti had yet to encounter. They were adventurers, and PCs to boot, and each resisted the strange magics of the yeti's chilling gaze. Just as the party seemed to be gaining the upper hand, another yeti appeared. The battle was well and truly joined. Belissimo's mettle was tested to the point of death, and he was only saved by the relentless endurance granted him by his orcish blood. Ultimately, it was Kelagor who downed each of the yetis with the pinpoint accuracy one would expect from a ranger of his caliber. Success, unfortunately, came with a steep price. Waywocket fell unconscious after suffering too many wounds from the rampaging yeti. Her comrades tried to save her, but the yetis proved too much to handle. Her final breath escaped cold lips before her companions could dispatch the monsters. They erected a cairn for Waywocket in the Yeti Cave, now dubbed Waywocket's End. As the group honored the life of their short-lived companion, grass began to push through the snow and quickly covered the cairn, as if some otherworldly force honored her as well. Gathering themselves and venturing further into the cave, they discovered that the balled-up creature the yetis had been batting around to pass the time was in fact Perilou Fishfinger, a sage who had been traveling with her friends Mokingo and Asterix up Kelvin's cairn in search of someone they called Blue Boots. They too had been ambushed by the yeti. Mokingo had been killed trying to stop them, and Asterix fled up the mountain for safety, leaving Perilou alone. The party, spent from their fight and weary after their loss, opted to rest in the safety of the cave. In the morning, they ascended to the top to find the last of Perilou's friends. Asterix was dead, frozen alongside Blue Boots, with only Blue Boots' journal left to tell their tale. With heavy hearts, the party descended the mountain, gathering Jarrett and Boy along the way, and continued on to Cairn, where they left Jarrett and Boy to recover from their ordeal, before continuing on to Cairn. Once they had secured rooms at the uphill climb, Belissimo honored Waywocket again with a haunting dirge on his flute. Lightening the mood, he recounted the tale of the great archer, Kelagor, the Yeti Slayer. Laremy, in an exchange with the bartender and owner of the uphill climb, Rourke, learned that Cairn's speaker, who hadn't been seen for weeks, was last seen in the presence of a group called the Black Sword Knights. He had led into town against my better judgment. If I'd ever seen a group up to no good, it was them, Rourke said, polishing a tankard with a dirty cloth. Laremy reported this back to the group, and they decided they should finish what they had started and come back to this later. That night, Laremy and Belissimo awoke to the crunch of footprints in the snow outside the inn. This wouldn't seem strange had there actually been a body making these prints, but looking out the window, they saw the prints appearing all by themselves. They followed the strange phenomenon and were led to the ruined watchtower on the edge of town. Deciding against investigating further while shorthanded, Laremy ran back to the inn to fetch the party while Belissimo kept watch at the tower.